And I'll try to get Tanya Love started before I talk this video out. I'll talk the last two of them out, and I should have started her off at the beginning. I know she's got something wonderful to say this morning. I mean, you can tell by just looking at her expression there that she's going to really lay on the wonderful energy this morning. So I got to get her. I got to get her going there, and um, this. But anyway, this flavor is just sealed in really nice into this little K cup, and then you just put it into your little coffee maker and put it in it, pop it in there, pop it there, and it punches a little hole, and then it just still keeps it sealed in until you punch this top one in, and then by that time you've got your water and everything in there, and you're ready for it just to go right down into your cup. So let's get Tanya Love, and then I can fix that coffee while she's talking, so I can begin to hear her. No need to delay. I can fix that coffee and everything while she's talking. And I can't wait to see if she's able to actually raise my exhilaration again this morning. It's such a high level already. And so, Tanya, we'll see.
About the problems. We're talking about the problems.
Oh, yeah.
And eventually, when I was going to therapy, I just got kind of tired of talking about the problems. So now, I didn't necessarily feel anything change for myself except for that someone, listened to my problems. The
they listen.
That and an auric clearing is that we're
just
not
like she
talking about
does.
Problems. We're tuning in to find out what's going on at that vibrational level to address it, and then to pull the splinter out, or the energetic cord, if you will, and cut that and clear it.
Cut it!
So that it leaves your vibration. It's no longer a part of a frequency that you are sending out any longer. And the reason that that's so important is because as we shift and we go into a higher vibration, we are going to start drawing in higher vibrational experiences, opportunities, people. All will start to be drawn in.
I knew she'd come up with it.
Now in a higher frequency. When
higher frequency.
Say a woman that's been abused several times, she's been molested or raped, and had terrible relationships, and she in her frequency sends out this signal that I am a victim. Come and victimize me. She doesn't realize she's doing that necessarily, but her energy is just totally advertising it.
Her energy,
she's wearing, no matter what, how she's behaving, she's got an energy to her.
Wonderful.
So when that gets healed and she shifts and clears and removes those splinters of woundedness, she now is in a higher vibration, higher frequency.
Oh, come on.
Frequency sends out this signal that I am a victim. Come and victimize me. She doesn't realize she's doing that necessarily, but her energy is just totally advertising it. No matter what she's wearing, no matter how she's behaving, she's got an energy to her.
Got an energy.
So when that gets healed and she shifts and clears and removes those splinters of woundedness, she now is in a higher vibration, a higher frequency, and she won't be drawing those beings to her any longer. And you can really tell quickly if you've actually released and resolved an issue, a wound, because once you've really cleared that wound, you no longer should be drawing those energies to you any longer. So you may see them in the world, you may observe them, but they won't be coming to you in a way to cause you suffering. So if you are right now in your life's experiencing drama in some way, you're experiencing someone who's betraying you, or you're experiencing that, here's that relationship, another one where I'm getting let down, people are taking from me, whatever it is, if you're experiencing this is a sign that there's still some kind of resistance inside of you. There's still some kind of a part of that splinter, that woundedness, that still needs to be cleared and released. So as you have the courage to redo that releasing, you're going to feel a shift, and you will start to notice that there will be a shift in you right away. When I'm working with clients, right after the session, they will say, I just feel so peaceful, and they will come to me in very heightened anxiety states. most client, not all clients, but a lot of them, when they come for the first time, they're just kind of like, what is this? It's new. I'm just getting to know you. I'm tuning into you and reading your energy. And I'm reading theirs as well. And we're just both kind of like getting to know each other. And they come in and they're nervous. They're a little anxious because this is new. They know that they've got vulnerability and they're going to have someone looking into that. And so that takes huge courage. And I salute every soul that has the courage to step in, because it is
Oh,
got vulnerability and they're going to have someone looking into that. And so that takes huge courage. And I salute every soul that has the courage to step in, because it is a vulnerable place. And I salute that and I understand it. And
there
I've
we
had
go.
to go there myself before I could even be a healer that could assist. I had to do my own healing. And so when I see them struggling in that way and they're in that anxiety, and then an hour goes by and we're at the end of the session and they've shifted. They're just like amazed by it, of how calm their minds are. They're clear, how relaxed they feel, and how at peace. And so, what my purpose is in helping clients with this healing work is to help them to clear those splinters and to help them shift their frequency to a vibration of peace and calm. When we are in a state of ease, everything we desire comes to us very easily, very naturally. We just vibrationally attract everything that we need and desire to us, and it comes easily. When we are in a state of anxiety, we are, in essence, overtaken by the ego. So, a quick way to explain ego so that we can start understanding that is that ego, whenever in your mind you're feeling a sense of resistance, you're feeling a sense of lack in some way, you are an ego. If you're resistance, you're feeling a sense of lack in some way, you are an ego. If you're ever in a state where you're feeling great fear, anxiety, you're an ego. So those are things that you can look for in your feeling, in your emotional feelings, to know if you are being triggered and consumed by ego.
Oh, that's good
Now,
coffee.
it isn't that you need to fight that and, have an argument about like, oh, how do I make that stop? It's more just a state of awareness. So if, for example, you were about to go, talk to someone that you really love and you need to open up to them about something, but you're nervous, you're anxious about if it's going to come
That
out
is
right, if
so
they're going to
good, that
still love
coffee.
you for speaking your truth. If you go in that state of anxiety and you start to speak to them, most likely it's not going to go so well, because you are in a state of ego. You're already in fear. You are identifying with the fear. You're identifying with the fact that there's something maybe wrong. And so energetically, you're going to call that experience to you. So these are the conversations that we have where then that person gets set off and they're
Oh, that
angry and
is
they
just
lash out.
marvelous
And then
coffee.
we're lashing out and we're angry.
Look at
And it
that.
just really turns into a big ego fest and just two egos eating off each other's energy. And it can become
Oh, good.
fear. You are identifying with the fear. You're identifying with the fact that there's something maybe wrong. And so energetically, you're going to call that experience to you.
Oh,
So
boy,
these
that's
are the
marvelous
conversations
coffee.
that we have where then that person gets set off and they're angry and they lash out. And then we're lashing out and we're angry. And it just really
Oh,
turns into a big ego fest and just two egos eating off each other's energy. And it can become really ugly really fast. And most of us have had these experiences to know exactly what I'm talking about. However, there is another option. An alternative way is to the reason I am so honored to be a part of the angelic realm and assisting them is that working with angels is amazing, and it will change everything in your life when you take the moment and the time to actually pause before going into action. So, another example of
yes.
how we can handle that important discussion with a loved one is we could pause before we go there and just tune in and kind of close our eyes and feel our heart space and just call in our angels. I love to work with Archangel Michael and Ariel as far as when I'm going to like speak on things that I need courage or strength. I just thank them for filling me with confidence,
Oh, yes.
to
That's
help
it.
me come from a place of compassion and understanding. And I thank Michael for clearing me of all ego and clearing the one that I'm going to speak to with of all ego. So it could be that I'm talking to one person, maybe it's a job interview and there's several people I'm going to interact with. I'll thank my angels for preparing that environment before I ever even arrive. I'll thank them for clearing the egos of everyone involved so that we can all see each other. And I'll set that intention that I will be seen, that they will be seen, and that we will all speak and communicate from our authentic, highest.
Well, I guess I'm supposed to be hearing that over and over or something. It keeps cutting off.
Communicate from our authentic, highest place. And so each of you has an opportunity to pause and to call in that angelic assistance anytime. And the difference in how things will go will be amazing and profound. So if you want, maybe this week, just write that down in your journal and just have that as an experience that you want to call forth as a little opportunity for an exercise, and you will learn from the experience. So just next time that you have to go interact, take a moment to pause and actually clear your ego so that you can come from your heart space and you can speak authentically, and you can also listen authentically. A lot of times our communication issues are not about if we're a great speaker, it's are we a great listener? And so I encourage you to just be mindful of that. Have awareness of are you communicating with clarity? Are you coming from a space of compassion and truth? And are you open and are you listening because you want to understand rather than I'm just listening for a second so I can talk? That's a totally different conversation than a conversation where the one that you're speaking to, you're actually talking to them, and then when you're done, you're tuning in and listening to them because you want to understand them. You want to understand where they're coming from. And a lot of our tension on this planet will fade quickly as each of us come into this state of alignment.
Oh, yes. That's
as
so
each
right.
of us release and surrender our ego, we will all be able to come from a space of love and